In the previous episode of building Benji's movie park in Planet Coaster, we built the Great Hall from Hogwarts Castle from Harry Potter. I love the way that turned out, and I actually planned to build the entire castle. Today we're gonna continue to build this castle, and as you can see on my screen here, we got pretty far. Let's get straight to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Coaster. Today we are going to finish, or well, that's the idea, Hogwarts Castle. Of course, by that I mean the exterior. The interior is going to be a whole different video, but so far it's looking pretty solid. I did change some things in front here. These windows now look a little bit better, but other than that, it's pretty much the same as it was last time. However, I did, of course, change this, or add this. I thought it'd be a waste of time to build the entire layout in a video, because it takes a long time. So basically what I already did is lay out the groundwork, so we can go from there. And that is exactly what we'll do today. So really, let's get straight to it. I think it makes sense to begin with the Great Tower, the large clock tower thing. Clock tower? And I actually, as you can see, already made this circular thing. It has a little doorway here that leads straight into the Great Hall, which already looks kind of cool from the inside, but anyway. So this has to become a whole big tower. I'm using the same reference as last time, so just so you know. So I guess let's just grab these layers and put them on top of each other until we have the desired height. Now, I'm not sure how high exactly that is, but let's just try something out here. There, that's starting to look like something. It should be right about that, I believe. And at the top, it's a little bit thicker, it appears. So let's try and recreate that as well. And then as far as those tiny arches go, maybe this could work. I'll try. The only thing is these are on grid, so I need to add just a ton of buildings, so to speak, that I then need to spin around. Look, as always, it's not identical in terms of proportions, but it's more than close enough. Here you go, just all the way around that top area. And then we need to fill up these tiny little gaps with separate pieces. Once again, how fun. I love this. Wait, however, this actually works insanely well. Hold on, check this out. That's really good, yeah. Yep. Solid. Now, before putting on the roof, which is going to be diabolical, first let's fix this edge. I think with a bunch of these fancy looking pieces, we can easily make that work. Okay, well, it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. So let's do it like this. And let's see. That is, yeah, that's all right. There are some gaps. I have no idea how. Wait, what? I have no idea what just went wrong there, but now it seems to be fixed. So then on top of that goes the roof, but first I also noticed we missed the windows, and there just so happened to be a bunch of them. So what I'll do first is I'll just get rid of one of these layers like that, and just make a layer that has windows in it. And this is unfortunately going to be extremely tricky, but I do actually have an idea. First we need a bit of a frame like this, nice and simple, and then a wooden frame as well, just on the inside. As you know, the more detail the better, guys. And then finally, of course, some glass inside, nice and small, so it fits properly. There you go, place it down. And that appears to be a pretty good window, actually. Now this, as usual, we have to spin around and move to the opposite side so we can then flip it around. Here, we just fill in every other wall, and then that should be pretty much it. Hell yes, dude. Hell yes. So now we can just do this. We select that entire row. Look at this. Incredible. That is crazy. They're maybe slightly too big, but who cares, honestly. It's already quite accurate, I think. Then in between here, there's also a bit of a piece, like a segment. So let me just make these walls go up a little bit higher, probably about this high. No, slightly higher even. Then I'll steal this window from here as well to put that inside. Just gonna have to see how exactly I'm gonna do that. Hold on a minute, wait, if this works, I might actually cry. These pieces appear to be a similar... Look, look, look. That fits. Sort of. See, now that is just insanely satisfying. Then we must also finish the tiny little roof that's sitting on top, and we should be good. And I think we can even get away with stealing this part right here. Just move that all the way down here and just put that on top. Just gonna make sure the whole thing is filled up with these tiny little details, and then I think this section is complete. Here you go. It is indeed. So that is... This is starting to look so cool, dude. I really love that. But now comes probably the most painful thing. The the roof. I will first try something like this, where we just make the basic structure of it, kind of finding out what the shape is going to look like at all. I think right about there. Question is this pointy enough? I don't think so. It's hard to tell. It is really tall and really pointy, but I'm not sure if this is maybe a bit too much. I don't know. I'll just try this and see what happens. Pray that it is in fact good. So then I don't know why the axis is now that, but in this particular case, it is actually really, really useful. It has to go all the way until there. And now hopefully this actually works. Yes, that does work. Now, something I did notice about the original castle is this isn't a smooth, curved round roof. It's actually built up from segments, which makes this a lot easier. There are just a few different planes like so. And so, yes. Now, is that the right angle? Damn, I feel like it has to be just ever so slightly pointier. Or am I tripping right now? Yeah, no, it totally does. Once again, all over again. Get rid of these. Okay, so I just offset that a little bit. This should now be better. So same thing, spin it around the same axis, and then we pray that this time it is in fact correct. Let's see. That actually looks better. Yes, I think this is it. I think this is it. Anyway, then we need to make panels for these, which is going to be insane. Let me tell you that. This can actually, this can go. What we can do, by the way, already is grabbing this thing and putting that on top, because I did notice there's actually like a steel pointy element there. And this might just be absolutely perfect. Look, we just shove that straight on like so. And that, see, that looks really nice. Anyway, I am most definitely procrastinating. Let me just, let's just begin. Okay, so first we need to do this, because it has to be in between these two pillars. I will then grab this piece and replace it with something else. This right here is, of course, the texture we've been using this whole time for the roofs. However, I'm not sure this is going to fit all the way up there, but we'll see. We'll try. Because look, the problem with this is every time we go up, we have to make it a little bit smaller, which is probably going to make it look a bit weird and inconsistent, but we'll have to see what that looks like in the end. I mean, honestly, I'm just happy if this works at all. So let's carry on.
3 days later.
This is taking forever, and I hate it. it's really tedious. However, so far it looks a bit weird, but we'll see. We'll see. Once again, I keep saying it. We'll see. I am also going to flip some of them around like this to make sure the texture isn't too repetitive. As you can see, that's actually so much better. Wow. I also added some of these bigger ones in between. And I might just do that some more with tiny ones too, just so it's really just random. And then here comes the moment of truth. Can we copy this successfully? First of all, we spin that around and we move it to the other side. Now this is going to be the trick. It has to line up with this tiny pole over here. But luckily, I think just like this, we can do that. There you go. Oh, amazing. What I will do is select this, select the other, confirm selection, Control X, and does it connect properly? It appears to connect properly. We did it. We literally did it. Oh my god. Let me just put all of these down and see. Wait, what is that? That's not great. Hold on. There you go. That's better. Oh, this is amazing. I'm still afraid it will look repetitive. However, worry not. We'll fix that. Although, to be fair, actually, it's not that bad at all. That's surprisingly good. It's a little bit repetitive, but not that bad at all. What we can always do is just move some of these around a little bit, like this. See? That helps a lot. Something I did forget, however, is the color of these. Of course, has to match that roof. Something like this is already a lot better. There you go. Gorgeous. Now, would you look at that? I am so happy that that worked, because I was really scared. But, it worked. It is, however, not finished just yet, because there are tiny little windows on it. Amazing. That is just what I felt like doing. However, first it's time for lunch, so I'll be right back with you. I am back, ladies and gentlemen, and you won't believe what I have right here. Mango! Crikey. That is good. That... Anyway, let's get to the windows. I've looked closely at the source material and I've noticed they are very similar to these, so I suggest we grab that and use it. Besides, we can always slightly adjust it if that's necessary. We're just gonna have to fix the angle after doing this. The angle of the roof should be slightly more flat, like this. Already a little bit better. These shall have 2 windows instead. Absolutely bloody lovely. And you already guessed it. I know you already guessed it. We have to now just put this on the other side as well. Now there are, in fact, quite a lot, and individually we have to put them in because they all have to be on this same line, meaning every single one we're gonna have to individually match with that roof, just like so. Here, so that seems to be the first row. Then we need to spin them around. Again, what a boring video! My god. Luckily, this actually is satisfying because as you can see, this fits just beautifully. But then now, as you can see, those are the windows. Does that look similar? Yeah, it does. I wish I could say it's now finished, but it isn't because there's also that, which looks weird, but I guess let's put it on. Now, again, with a little bit of luck, I can just grab this and put that on. It should be right about either here. I think right about here should be the one. And let's spin that around so it matches. Here you go. It matches that same kind of angle to the roof. That does mean that we don't actually need all of these windows on that specific side. So let's just get rid of those at least. And then those are supposed to be 3 little towers inside each other. It's a weird design, but I guess something like this. And they get progressively small. Oh, that is not possible. Maybe I can just make the other one slightly bigger. That could work like this. And that second one definitely does not need to be this tall. So let's make that a bit shorter. I know this one is square and it's supposed to be round, but as of yet we don't have any round pieces that look like this, so it will have to do. With new updates we can always try and see if we can change it, but for now this is all we have. There you go. It looks really quite weird, but to be fair, the real thing also looks kind of whack. I'm not sure if it's a weird design. I guess if you think this looks bad, blame the designers of the original castle, not me. I'm just Anyway, then the tower is actually finished. That took I still have to do the whole bloody castle. Okay, this might actually take a while, I just realized. So we best get on it. I guess what makes sense the most is going from left to right. So now let's do this section here. I'll begin with these towers, just making them a little bit higher, like that. And I have to kind of just up the tempo here, guys. The walls over here as well have to be a whole lot higher, probably about the same height as that. This seems about right. And really, we're just doing the same kind of layering. Once again, adding some more bevels and edges to it. This time, however, we also once more need some of this stuff. And I turned a little bit British again there, but just like that. And again, we just copy it all over the width of this wall. Again, it's not identical, but close enough. For the arch that's located here, we're gonna have to be creative again, because guess what? No pieces like that exist. So instead, let's do this kind of thing. We can, at least this way, make it as nice and curved and smooth as we want, because you can already tell this is starting to look pretty sweet. And again, copy that over to the other side. We should make a compilation of that when I say copying it over to the other side, or to, you know, that sort of stuff. It's crazy how often I have to say that. That looks decent. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, I guess. See, this would have been great if I can just flip this upside down, but I can't. I can only flip it like so. All nice and filled up. Then the same exact thing. Hey, here it is. On the other side. It is truly unbelievable, but it's true. This has to happen on this side as well. So let's just go and get that done as quick as possible. It is a bit different, of course, here because we have a separate piece of building that leads a different way. However, you get the idea. It's just all the same thing repeated, just like that. Oh, and by the way, the floor here probably should also extend just all across this square. Not entirely sure what this will look like yet, but definitely not like grass. There you go. Very nice. There's just one extra very annoying little pickle, and that's that we need to make this tower a bit thicker at the top, which is gonna be pretty difficult, I think. I don't even want to say it anymore. I'm just not gonna say it. I'm just gonna do it, and you can just watch. Why did I think this was a good idea? This is going to take years! And I thought I was gonna do that in one video. Yeah, sure. Allow me to just do this to these other sides as well, because it's the same bloody thing, and then I'll be right back with you. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. I have actually done quite a bit, as you can tell. However, it's not as extravagant as it might seem, because these windows are just copied from the Great Hall. These tiny windows are copied from the tower, and basically every elements I used here are copied from something I already have. Same goes for these blocks. Those are just from right there. So really it is now just a nice and complete block apart from this side, because here we still need to add some of those windows. I assumed it'd be fun to show at least that. However, something I noticed is how cool would it be to in here just have like a bunch of stores and shops and cool things. Like there's so much we can do. Maybe even a ride. I don't know. There's just so much stuff we can do with this castle besides just the dark ride. Or dark ride / coaster, I don't know. The potential is insane, but for now, let's continue. You might wonder where I get the reference from for these specific areas, since there aren't really many pictures of it. I'm actually using a 3D scan of the Hogwarts Castle in the Warner Bros. Studio Tour. It's not very high quality, but there's definitely something there. There's plenty of stuff to just look around and see what elements are in place, so I think it's more than good enough, and that's what I'm using all this time, from now on, basically. Currently, I'm gonna work on this section over here. For that, I'm actually going to grab this window once again, and simply copy that over to here, because as you can tell, it's just a bunch of these. The annoying thing about doing it this way is every single piece is a separate building. So this is one whole building, this is a whole building. It's very annoying, but it's the only way I know how to quickly do this, because that's what I'm aiming for mostly right now. Making sure this stuff doesn't actually take years. Also, in between these recordings, the game got updated and we have a few different new things, which is cool. One of them I just noticed is if you select a bunch of different groups, usually you'd have to click confirm. You don't have to do that anymore, which is great. Like, thank God for that, because that was actually so annoying. You can just grab them now and copy them over like this. Incredible. I love that. Then let's also put these over here. Very important. And on top of this specific part, we need to make a roof, because, well, there is a roof like this on it. So you're gonna have to see if this angle is correct. I think it might actually be. And what we can do then is immediately swap this around to the other side and connect it to there. We will stretch this out a little bit further later, but for now, just like that. And then again, using these tiny pieces, we have to fill up these areas. Ooh, and on top of this staircase kind of effect, we can just put some flat slabs. Make it a bit more detailed, otherwise it's a bit too plain. Look, that is really not bad. Then this same roof on the horizontal area. Let me just grab this part, I guess, and move that around. Let's just put that all the way here. Wait a second. I think I just made a perfect segment. What I'm also noticing, by the way, is whenever you use the same kind of material in walls, it remembers which one you use, which color you used. So if I now just grab this, it's instantly going to be that dark color I've been using. Amazing! This is the sort of stuff it should have had at launch, but I'm just happy it's here now. Anyway, look, I can now just do this and extend the entire roof in one go. And it matches perfectly. And I think I can even do this. And the same goes for that. Yes! Of course, the only tricky part is going to be the corner, but I think I can make that work. I'm a genius. Okay, just extend this a little bit further. Oh, and I almost forgot, we also need these, obviously. It's definitely taking longer than I expected, but it's working, and that's what it's all about. I mean, this part is a lot easier, luckily, because it's just connecting them like so. Filling in the little empty spots, and that connects, actually, beautifully like this. It's not terrible. It's a little bit weird. Let's see if we can put that on this other side as well, if that connects nicely. Yes, that does connect. Okay. Then I just need to stretch this out a bit further, and it's finished, I think. Just like that. Very satisfying as always. That is rather clean. I will not lie. That looks rather good. And once again, so far, pretty accurate. There's just one devastating thing, and that is, of course, the pointy roofs on these. It's the same stuff as that, except a lot smaller. First, however, these tiny towers on the side here, the little extra building elements. And I think we can use those same windows again. I'm just gonna have to see how exactly. Probably something like this. Or just make a small little house shape. And a kind of similar roof again. Very boring, but here we are. Here you go. Nice and simple. Bit whack, but it's fine. And again, just closing up that front bit over here. We should be good. Unfortunately, mine are a bit close together because the proportions are completely different from the original. But you know what? I don't think we should complain. It looks alright still. Besides, I'm pretty sure the proportions of the whole thing make zero sense if you really start looking at it. Though I could, of course, add slightly more space between them. Except now they just don't line up with those windows below. But it doesn't stand out too much, I think. The overall aesthetic definitely seems better like this. I can't really find anything better than this, so it'll have to do. And to be completely fair, it looks pretty decent, actually, especially from afar. That is also something I should not forget about. All of this, you're never really gonna see from up close. Are ya? Then finally, on this segment, there are these chimney kind of elements, so let's do those as well. Thankfully, this shouldn't be anything too difficult, just a simple square little block. For some variety, let's try and use something like this. And we can slap a tiny little roof on it, like this. And we have a cute looking little thing. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to look like, but I guess now it looks like that. Then we want 1, 2, 3 of those on here. And I also noticed there's one on the front. Also, a very easy way, quickly in between, to add these tiny windows is by just smacking them on like this, using the pre-made kind of windows. And it looks decent, simple and effective. But well, then we have now arrived at the point where I do actually have to make these roofs. I know I look like I hate playing this game. I don't. I really love this, but some particular aspects are a little bit tedious. However, very quickly in between, I am noticing the tower could be a little bit higher. Or is that just me? Let me just try and get the exact same angle as that. I think it can... Oh no. Wait, actually... Hold on, this should be doable, right? Let me try. First, I need to know if I can grab all of this in one go. And then just move that around. Like this, just that. Yes, okay, easy. Dude, I'm sweating for nothing. This is easy. I can just do this. Let's have a look. How high should it be instead? It used to be this, at least 4 meters. It doesn't help that the other proportions aren't exact either, but I do think about this even. Let's do 4 meters first. And we simply drag this up for an extra layer of windows. And we do the same with the layer right underneath. Perfect, as if nothing happened. And by the way, something I don't think I've shown you guys yet is on the inside. This looks rather satisfying, and we can make this look decent if we actually try. And also, imagine just like a big spiral staircase using path so people can actually walk on it. Incredible. As I said earlier, the potential for this is actually ridiculous. Now, what was I doing again? Oh, right, I made it higher. I really do think that's a bit better. It's a bit, yes, especially in relation with this side. That's just a lot better now. Yep, I like it. Okay, now seriously, this roof. Let's begin. And guys, this is gonna be one of the few times in my life where I actually do a time lapse. Because I kid you not, it is the exact same thing again. So let's freaking go. Guys, it appears to be finally time, for the moment of truth. Let's see if it works. Of course it works. I made it. Come on. Let's place it down just like that. Oh, that is... This took way too long, by the way. insane. What a disastrous way to make roofs, but at least it works. And that is more than we can say from Roblox back in the day. See, that looks insanely repetitive. Oh my god. And this time around, it's a lot harder to fix. I may or may not fix that later, but for now, let's just move on because this is crazy. I have noticed we have some little towers on the corner there, so let me go ahead and put that in, just using the same one again, because I'm a lazy little shit. Now, obviously, because it just works, this is kind of the same exact thing. It just needs a few more windows, like that. Easy. We shove it in, and we should be golden. There you go. That is weirdly accurate for the amount of time I spent on it. And then what I'll actually do as well is, if you noticed, there is a second one of these straight on top of the tower, the big one we just made. So let's go ahead and put that in as well. It has to be a little bit taller though, probably closer to this. Now it is looking a little bit dumb, but for once I'm going to blame the sunlight, because as you can see, this looks super bright, but the sunlight is only hitting that. Let's see, look. Much better. Still a bit strange, of course. It's a little bit goofy, but it's fine. Probably the final time for today. Other side as well. And just flip it around like this for a bunch of them. And then I think that tower is done. It appears to be done, yes. One thing I did forget, though, is putting in windows. Oh, I just put one in. And there should also be one in this section. There. Absolutely beautiful. Actually, I do wonder, though. What does this look like with like a sunset behind? Oh, look at that. Imagine the whole castle with this lighting. Dude, this is honestly quite magical. I really like it. Anyway, let's make it day. For today, at least my today, and probably your today as well, I think I'm gonna end this episode here. We finished this whole section over here, besides those, but that's the same thing as this, except a slightly different angle. So I'll do those off screen. It's very boring, but the point is, okay, so I kind of knew deep down I probably wasn't gonna do the whole castle today. I did expect to get a bit further than this. It just happens to be a ton of work. It takes a long time, so I just can't. Time. Either way, I am extremely happy with the result. Much happier than I thought I was going to be. It's in general turning out much better than I expected, and so that's great, and I hope that you guys agree with that. I honestly cannot wait to start adding interior as well, just making all this work, making it feel alive. I haven't even really thought about the ride yet, like where the station's gonna be, all of that stuff, because I really just wanted the castle to be accurate first, and then the rest comes later. So it's not the most practical way of doing things, but I think it'll be fine. What I do know is the queue is gonna go through the Great Hall. That would be incredible. And then you'll probably go through here and then, I don't know, somewhere, or this, and then here's the station. Honestly, I have no idea. We'll see. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell not to miss a single future video, and then I hope I'll see you in the next episode of Building Benji's Movie Park in Planet Coaster.